You cover crypto regulation from Washington, D.C. How do you think this sentencing, 25 years and forfeiting $11 billion, will reverberate throughout the community? And what message does it send to those right now who are facing charges?
So, I think from the perspective of legislation and regulation, the extent of these crimes has already been well known, right? So there have been actions. After 2022, there was sort of an uptick in enforcement actions. We saw some activity on the Hill and writing new rules. Obviously nothing that's been enacted, but there was there were a lot of hearings being had. So I don't think it changes things from that perspective. But I think what it does send is a warning shot to other individuals who have been charged criminally in the U.S. I'm thinking of, Do Kwon, for instance, from Terraform Labs. So I think that what the message they should take away from this is that, they will be held accountable and, the sentence could be severe.
David, we're focusing on the 25 years in prison, which obviously is a huge part of the sentence. But another part of the sentence is forfeiting $11 billion. What do we know about the money that Sam Bankman-Fried has access to right now and that part of what the judge said?
I think this is a great mystery, and it's also something that was kind of dealt with as folly in the sentencing memo that we got from the defense. They kind of said that this would be superfluous to have a seizure or forfeiture of this size, just in light of what's happened here. It's a great mystery, sort of who's paying for Sam Bankman-Fried's legal counsel. He's switched legal teams. All of this is very expensive. We don't really have a whole lot of insight into his finances currently. And part of today's hearing centered on this pre-sentencing report, which included presumably a lot of financial information to which we have no insight. It's not going to be made public. But yeah, I would say that the attitude that we have seen from the defense is that this is another blow to the defendant, to Sam Bankman-Fried. But again, his circumstances are kind of opaque, and it's unlikely that he would be able to come up with this kind of money now, of course.
And Allyson, before we let you go, of course, it seems like the defense is really trying to paint Sam Bankman-Fried as really this kind-hearted math nerd who didn't have malicious intent. It seems as though that really didn't hold a lot of water with the judge, though.
No, the judge was very clear that these were serious crimes. He called out the fact that Bankman-Fried didn't really admit or acknowledge actually committing crimes. While he did feel contrite about the losses that people have faced, he put a lot of blame on the bankruptcy estate and how that's been handled. And so it was clear that that didn't play very well with the judge. Also, what didn't seem to play well was the fact that, he and his defense were continuing to say that FTX was solvent when it filed for bankruptcy in November 2022, or that, the bankruptcy estate from the recovery process is recouping enough money so that there aren't going to be any losses. He definitely pushed back against that idea and the fact that, there's not any loss or harm to these victims. And it was something that we also saw from the victim who took the stand as well.